What's up, ladies and gentlemen? So, welcome to Proactive Parlay. I'm going to be talking about probably one of the most pivotal things to happen in human evolution porn. So, dude, what do you think about porn?
Porn. Oh my god. Why am I laughing at this topic, bhai? Why does this
I'm like, it's okay to laugh, dude. It's one of the most taboo topics out there. It is actually a taboo, so a lot of people don't talk about it, and that's actually the motto of a podcast. We take topics that a lot of people are scared to talk about.
Bro, it's
So
so
yeah, here we
funny.
go.
It's so funny because even in our schools and even in our when we were raised through our childhood, there have been many instances where workshops have been conducted. कि भाई वो education देते थे हमें porn के ऊपर कि भाई porn के negative effects क्या होते हैं, क्यों नहीं देखना चाहिए आखिर, all that stuff about isolation, about depression and shit. Cope up करने के
And just to think of it, it's coming from people who live in India. And India probably has the maximum population on the planet, right? India is the most populated country on the planet. So it's kind of ironical. Because I'm like probably the most porn traffic that goes to any porn website. The most traffic that goes to any website probably goes from India. Indians are probably the only people who watch porn at that big of a scale.
एंड आई थिंक पॉर्न इज लाइक वन ऑफ दोज थिंग्स कि तुम चाहे जितने भी बैन लगा दो उस पर या फिर कितने भी रिस्ट्रिक्शंस डाल दो, इट्स नेवर गोइंग टू स्टॉप पीपल. In fact, on the opposite, I think
Actually, people are going to do anything to watch porn, be it VPNs or be it that Brave browser or incognitos, whatever you want to say, dude. People are into watching porn big time.
yeah, definitely.
That's
And
not good.
मेरे हिसाब से like I want to ask you this question also. Let's say someone wanted to cope up with himself and started watching porn, ठीक है, and he's feeling guilty about it, ठीक है, बाद में, ठीक है, and let's say that guy opens up to you, let's say he's your friend, ठीक है, और वो open up करता है तुझसे कि यार मैंने गलती से porn देख लिया, मैं थोड़ा low feel कर रहा था अपनी life में, what do I do about it? What will you tell him?
I'm like, bro, I don't think I'm the right person to to be I'm not supposed to ask that question. Ask me that question, dude. Out of all people out there, I'm not the right person to answer it. But like, I think it's okay to watch porn, dude. To be very honest, I've been off porn for quite some time now. But that's because I've been hitting the gym and I've been on NoFap. But it's pretty normal to watch porn, dude. I'm like, porn is not that big of a deal as it has been shown to be.
I mean, honestly,
for the last few months.
my opinion on it is I never really found it that special, ठीक है, मतलब मैं honest दूंगा, मैंने देखा है, ठीक है, I will be brutally honest, मैंने देखा है, ठीक है, but I never really was.
Are you someone who's into the imagination thing? Are you someone who can imagine stuff?
What imagine stuff? Like what stuff?
Do you imagine? Do you prefer imagination over visualization?
I mean, no. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I was someone who was maybe not really, mesmerized by the fact that I was watching porn. Like, it was nothing special to me. Okay, let me be very honest. Initially, when I watched it, I was disgusted. Okay, and I think majority of people का ये होगा थोड़ा बहुत. Initially ऐसा होता है ना कि जब तुम पहली बार porn देखते हो, it's not something that you expected कि वैसा निकलेगा. ठीक है, तुम
What were you expecting, bro? What were you expecting? What were your expectations? I want to know that. What were your expectations, buddy?
एक्सपेक्टेशन कुछ थी नहीं. आई मीन एक्सपेक्टेशन था कि वुड हैव बीन लाइक अ प्लेजेंट एक्सपीरियंस, ठीक है, देखने में मतलब ठीक लगेगा, लाइक एनी अदर फॉर्म ऑफ एंटरटेनमेंट, लाइक अ मूवी और समथिंग ऐसे मैं देख रहा हूँ, ठीक है, एंड आई विल जस्ट डिराइव सम सॉर्ट ऑफ सैटिस्फैक्शन फ्रॉम दैट. बट मेरे को उतना खास नहीं लगा ऑनेस्टली. इनफैक्ट मैं काफ़ी लाइक आई वॉज ऑल्सो थोड़ा छोटा था मैं उम्र में, ठीक है, जब मैंने पहली बार देखा था, ठीक है, तो उस
Well, let's be honest. How old were you? How old were you, bro? What was your age?
not old enough to know better.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So
Fair enough.
yeah, exactly. So मेरे लिए उतना कुछ खास नहीं था, but I do understand why people get addicted to it. I do understand कि उनको वो चाह की होती है देखने की. I completely get, ठीक है, कि sometimes तुम्हें बस maybe it's like a coping mechanism or maybe it's like कि भाई मज़े के लिए चलो देख ही लेता हूँ, ठीक है, and you just start to reach that phase of life, you know, जो भी वो biological bullshit होती है भाई, है ना, adolescence, puberty, that shit.
You know, a lot of websites, I'm talking about like big time websites, a lot of websites have declared porn to be the genre of 20th century. It has been declared as a genre of 20th century. So that was how big an impact porn had on the previous generation, on the generation that was before us.
Bro, honestly, I mean, हाँ वो तो I think definitely, और क्यों नहीं होगा, like तू सोच इसके बारे में एक बार, like something as explicit and as you know, like something as explicit and as natural as porn, ठीक है, वो in a way hit क्यों नहीं होगा amongst the masses? Like कोई भी चीज़ एकदम हटकी होती है और जो एकदम ऑब्वियस चीज़ को एक्सपोज कर देती है एक डिग्री तक, वो चीज़ अपने आप हमें अट्रैक्टिव लगती है ना? तो एक ऐसी चीज़ जहाँ पे तुम लिटरली सेक्स को एक वीडियो में कंपाइल करके ब्रॉडकास्ट कर रहे हो ओपनली, जो लिटरली एक प्राइवेट चीज़ है, ठीक है, लाइक सेक्स इज़ अ प्राइवेट थिंग ऑन सर्फेस एरिया, है ना? जब भी तुम सोचते हो उसके बारे में, इट्स अ वेरी प्राइवेट एक्टिविटी. यू डोंट वांट टू टॉक अबाउट इट इन फ्रंट ऑफ पीपल. You don't want to talk about it in front of people.
America thinks otherwise. The United States of America thinks otherwise.
Yeah, but then again, United States of America doesn't make the world, okay? And that's something Americans need to accept.
Well, people from Delhi think otherwise after 12 o'clock. At least boys from Delhi think otherwise after 12 o'clock.
Whatever, man, whatever. Honestly, whatever. Whatever makes you feel happy, भाई. ठीक है. तो भाई मतलब मैं क्या बोल रहा था, मैं भूल गया. इसे रिमाइंड कराना.
I'm so sorry, I disrupted your chain of thought.
हाँ, तो मतलब मैं मीन कर रहा था कि भाई पॉर्न एक ऐसी चीज़ है जो ऑटोमेटिकली एक हिट थी, ठीक है, एंड इट यू नो.
By the way, did you know that porn has already gone through its golden age?
What do you mean gone through its golden age?
So, well, according to Wikipedia, and I know it's not the most reliable source out there. It's not the most, okay, it's not the most reliable source out there, but there's got to be someone who edited this, right? So the golden age of porn lasted from 1969 to 1984.
इतना early?
Yeah.
I mean, कब के समय?
Do you know how people used to access porn at that time?
Like, tell me something.
People actually.
Like, tell me something. उस जमाने में तो लोग टेप्स के थ्रू एक्सेस करते होंगे ना, लाइक यू नो कैसेट टेप्स एंड लाइक डीवीडीज एंड ऑल दैट शिट.
I was just doing some research on this, and well, back in the day, porn used to there was only one way you could watch porn. So basically, at the back of every porn magazine or something like Playboy and stuff, there used to be numbers, and if you call them. So basically for $14.95 you could actually get a projector with 3 tapes, and that projector could actually run for at max 10 times. So that was like the lifespan of the projector.
Okay.
And you used to get 3 videos, and that's how it used to go. And the videos used to be reel to reel, and they used to be pretty, you know, well, from what I've heard, the porn used to be pretty bad back in the day.
Acha.
Yeah.
So the golden age has gone. So what, porn is on a decline these days?
I don't think so, dude. Porn probably is the only industry that's never gonna die. So it is the only industry that's gonna make money, even if a zombie apocalypse hits us like in the next 10 years.
Yeah, definitely. But मेरे को एक चीज़ बहुत वो लगती है इस टाइप के कंटेंट के बारे में, कि आजकल यू नो जो भी हम नेटफ्लिक्स शोज देखते हैं, या नेटफ्लिक्स, अमेजोन, हॉटस्टार, जो भी उठा ले, एंड उसमें बेसिकली नेटफ्लिक्स शो में अगर तुम्हारे अंदर सेक्सुअल कंटेंट है, ठीक है, लाइक आजकल शोज बहुत सारा सेक्सुअल कंटेंट, अपने एक्सप्लिसिट कंटेंट अपने स्क्रिप्ट वगैरह में और अपने सीन्स वगैरह में भर रहे हैं, है ना? लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, आई एम प्रीटी श्योर मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द पीपल हैव वॉच्ड गेम ऑफ थ्रोन्स, ठीक है. अब गेम ऑफ थ्रोन्स एक ऐसी सीरीज है जहाँ पे देयर इज नो कमी ऑफ सेक्सुअल सीन्स, राइट? एंड मेरे हिसाब से एटलीस्ट पार्ट ऑफ द शो सक्सेस वाज आल्सो एट्रिब्यूटेड टू दैट. मस्ट बी, है ना?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of my batchmates who used to skip scenes to jump out of the love-making part, or, you know, the sexual parts.
But then again,
I've had long conversations with these people, and they weren't bluffing. They weren't lying to me. They were actually, that used to be the only thing that they were interested in.
ब्रो बट एक्चुअली जितनी भी सारी हिट सीरीज है ना, जितनी भी जितनी भी टॉप सीरीज हैं, ठीक है, अपार्ट यू नो देयर आर सम एक्सेप्शंस ऑब्वियसली, ठीक है, इस चीज़ को, बट कॉमनली ये ट्रेंड रहा है कि ऐसा टाइप का कंटेंट उनमें भरा हुआ है, ठीक है. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल तो कोई भी सीरीज देख ले, लाइक समथिंग लाइक पीकी ब्लाइंडर्स, उसमें भी है, गेम ऑफ थ्रोन्स उसमें भी है, वाइकिंग्स उसमें भी है, ठीक है. सो मतलब मैं यही सोच रहा था कि if they're doing that, ठीक है, if they're doing that, then do they think जब वो ये सब डालते हैं अपने उसमें तो उनका व्यूअरशिप बढ़ जाएगा? I am pretty sure वो इस माइंडसेट से ही डालते होंगे ऐसी टाइप ऑफ कंटेंट.
I think it does play a part, alright. It definitely plays a part in it. It definitely plays a part in the success of the show. I mean, like, I think a lot of the audience is kind of Vela people who are just sitting at home, who got no company, who don't have friends, who don't have, you know, sexual partners. And so that is something they jerk off to. That is something that satisfies them. So I think they particularly put those parts in those series and those shows to, you know, attract people who are kind of lonely, who are kind of depressed, who are kind of, you know, going through low stages in their life.
मतलब ड्रीम गर्ल ही बना दिया है इसको. ड्रीम गर्ल मूवी देखी है, वैसा ही बना दिया है. लोनली मैन टारगेट करते जाओ. अरे बेसिकली इन दैट मूवी आयुष्मान खुराना का जो कैरेक्टर होता है ना, what he has the ability to also imitate a woman's voice, ठीक है, मतलब पता नहीं कि उसके अंदर वो होती है चमत्कार, ठीक है. So what he does is he's hired as a call girl in a call center in which वो एक alias ले लेता है एक लड़की का और रात को certain set of बंदों को call करता है और उनको seduce करता है अपने voice से.
Do they have phone sex?
I don't know what that is, but ठीक है.
I mean, if they have phone sex, then yeah, it's kind of porn. But if they don't, then I won't consider it as porn.
No, I mean वो अपने voice call होती है. Like it's a voice call जहाँ पे वो बस seductive तरीके में बात करता है उनसे, ठीक है, रात को, और वो ऐसे पैसे कमाता है इसके थ्रू, ठीक है. So वैसा टाइप का है. So now like you know, retracing our steps back a few, ठीक है, is watching porn bad?
I think it is. In my opinion, watching porn is bad.
Why?
I mean, it's not. I'm like, I don't know. I can't talk about, you know, is it morally bad? I don't know, but I think it is bad. It basically fucks with your psychology. It messes up the way you think about women. It messes up your ability to have healthy relationships with women.
I think it more or less, in a nutshell, it's just a very bad distraction and a bit of a waste of your time, है ना?
I mean, it's also basically a small supply of happiness or dopamine for a short period of time.
So it's like,
it's a small boost, kind of like a boost of dopamine for a very short period of time, and then you go back to feeling low. So it's, you know, having that high for some time. It's basically the same as, you know, taking in drugs.
नशे करना.
So yeah.
Simple शब्दों में.
I actually read this study where they were talking about people. They were basically taking MRI scans of people जो लोग drugs लेते हैं और जो लोग, and the people who watch porn.
Okay.
And bro, mark my words and make no mistake. उन दोनों type के लोग का same MRI scan आया. Same MRI scan आया. While those people were watching porn, or while the people who were taking in drugs, while they were smoking weed, उनके brain के जो parts activate हो रहे थे, they were very similar. They were actually exactly the same.
Okay.
So that is something that, you know, scared me. That is something that, you know, that's kept me off porn ever since.
Yeah,
that
definitely porn is something that, you know, isn't exactly good for your mind as your health. And you know, like whenever you think about porn, तुम्हें बस ये सोचना चाहिए. I think तुम्हारे mind में few चीज़ें चलनी चाहिए कि भाई जो time में porn देख रहा हूँ, उस time में मैं और क्या कर सकता था, ठीक है.
I mean, bro, I mean, that goes for everything, right? I mean, you're talking about opportunity cost, and that goes for the time spent on YouTube, the time spent on Netflix. And talking about that, I've got an exam day after tomorrow. The exam I had tomorrow got cancelled, but the one day after tomorrow, I just wasted my entire evening, fucking afternoon, dude. I just wasted my entire evening playing fucking FIFA.
Hmm.
So now you just made me regret
But
that.
then again, there's also flip side to it. जैसे porn is like a full-fledged industry, ठीक है? Like it has its set of revenue, ठीक है? It has its
Yeah.
set of people who have proper jobs, ठीक है? The porn stars who act in the films.
Trained, buddy. Those people are trained. Like those are trained actors.
Yeah. So trained people basically. Obviously trained तो होंगे ना. It's like a professional industry, भाई. No shit, they'll be trained.
Yeah.
है ना? तो मतलब it's like a proper सेक्टर, एक प्रॉपर सेक्टर जो अपने आप में ऑपरेट करता है, ठीक है? जहाँ पे यू हैव योर सेट ऑफ इक्विपमेंट, यू हैव योर ट्रेन सेट ऑफ कैमरामैन एंड देयर इज लाइक अ सेट ऑल्सो, है ना? पूरा बना हुआ, इसकी शूटिंग होती है, बहुत मास शूटिंग होती है ना इस चीज़ की. सो एंड इसके अवार्ड भी होते हैं, इसके अवार्ड शोज भी होते हैं.
Yeah, they're called Avian Awards or something like that. Right?
Yeah. I mean, these porn stars get to walk over a red carpet, thinking कि क्या काम करके आया हूँ मैं. And
Like who's like the last Avian winner?
who is it? Who is he or she?
Dude, there are fucking categories for this shit. It's
Like?
not like the best female or best male actor of the year. It's like they got best cinematography, the best director, best new star. What the fuck is that? Bro, they've got an entire list of awards that they hand out to people.
Bro, I mean, अगर इतना बड़ा अवार्ड शो ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहे हो जहाँ पे तुम लिटरली सेलिब्रिटीज को लाइक दे वॉक ओवर द रेड कार्पेट, दे सिट डाउन, लाइक इट्स अ प्रॉपर अवार्ड शो, तो इतनी कैटेगरीज तो होंगी कि भाई इतने लोगों को बुला रहे हो और बिठा रहे
I'm
हो.
a bitch, bro. What the fuck is up with people? Like, I would call it okay, best MILF release, best all sex release, best DVD. Do they still produce DVDs in modern day world? I don't think so, but I mean, whatever, dude. In my opinion, it's quite fucked. All right. You're not it's not a healthy way of living. You're not supposed to do something like this. It fucks your relationship with it. It doesn't let you have healthy relationships with women or even with your friends. I think you start emitting a very negative energy after you get addicted to porn.
But obviously, on the consumer's perspective, it's bad. ठीक है? On the consumer's perspective, it's bad, obviously. But what about people who actually work for this shit? ठीक है? They are thinking कि भाई वो एक living के लिए कर रहे हैं, ऐसा है ना? Especially the porn stars who act in these films. वो तो ये सोच रहे हैं कि this is like my work only. I am doing this shit in order to earn a living out of myself.
Yeah.
So what do you think about these people? Like क्या ये लोग ज़बरदस्ती की वजह से कर रहे हैं कि और कोई ऑप्शंस नहीं था कि भाई आई डोंट नो व्हाट एल्स टू डू, ठीक है? मे बी दिस इज द ओनली वे आउट, ठीक है? या फिर दे आर जस्ट स्कैर्ड इनफ एंड थिंक कि भाई यही एक रास्ता है और कुछ तो आता नहीं तो चलो यही सही है.
Okay, I think there's this one thing that we have to realize. A lot of people are just forced into this shit, alright? They're probably not, they're people who come from broke backgrounds. Like, they don't have a lot of money to start off with, right? To start with business or go to college. So those people actually have to join those people actually have to do these low life jobs. But it's not a low life job actually. They make a lot of money, so it's not a low life job, to be very honest with you. But I think it's gonna have some sort of effect or some sort of aftermath on the psychology. It definitely has to fuck with the psychology.
So coming back to the point, like obviously this shit earns a shit ton of money, है ना? Porn, like whoever is acting in it and जो भी porn stars इस चीज़ में indulge करते हैं, कितना ज़्यादा पैसा कमाते होंगे, है ना? So I mean इन लोग के दिमाग में ऐसा ही चलता होगा कि I have got out of that phase, ठीक है? जहाँ पे I was thinking कि भाई let's take an example. In fact, Sunny Leone, ठीक है?
Bro. Just let me put some numbers out there. The adult entertainment industry euphemism for pornography is worth $57 billion in the US alone, with an annual contribution to the American economy of anywhere between $12 billion to $28 billion. So that is how big this shit is. That is how big they really are.
I mean, I'm not surprised. Like, I don't think so. I'm that shocked. मतलब मेरे को numbers देख के थोड़ा बहुत तो हुआ कि भाई like these are big numbers, but honestly, I don't think so.
I think they probably make more money in 1 year than Marvel's made in the entirety of its existence.
Are you sure?
I'm just speculating, dude. I don't know.
तो भाई मतलब मैं वापस इस चीज़ पे सर्कल अप करना चाहूँगा कि भाई इतना ज़्यादा पैसा है इस चीज़ में, ठीक है? And if we are thinking purely from the perspective of the people who work from that, ठीक है, वो ये सोच के आते हैं कि भाई I don't have any.
Okay, let me put this number out there. It's gonna shock you.
Okay.
Alright, it's gonna shock you.
Okay.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe, spanning 33 movies and counting, is the biggest movie franchise in history, having earned more than $29 billion. Basically, the adult porn industry earns, the adult film industry earns twice the total, twice the total money that Marvel has earned in the entirety of its existence in 1 year.
Okay.
So yeah, what I'm saying.
That just puts things into perspective a bit, you know, obviously. भाई
I mean,
पैसा तो
it just leads me to thinking how fucked up our generation in particular really is.
Yeah, definitely. Something to think about is the fact कि भाई honestly this is a thing that also we can't help, है ना, ये चीज़ तो चलती रहेगी. This is like one of those things कि भाई ये जो number है, maybe if it doesn't even increase, but इसकी range more or less same ही रहेगी, है ना. Like we aren't going to see a steep decline कि भाई in fact अगर कुछ भी हो गया, porn is something that can't be, you know, that can't be restricted or something. Even when COVID happened, ठीक है, even when COVID or something like that happened, है ना, you can't expect porn rates to go down. In fact porn तो बढ़ेगा उस वक्त, है ना. So you can't help it. Views, viewership, पैसा जो roll in होता है, the investment that's done in this industry, it's only going to either stay the same or increase. ठीक है.
No, it's definitely gonna increase because I'm like, ever since the introduction of OnlyFans, I think people are more inclined to join the adult industry rather than get proper
No,
jobs.
actually, you know what? Tell me about OnlyFans. Yeah, I'm not entirely acquainted with the concept of OnlyFans. Like, tell me something about it. Like, है क्या exactly OnlyFans?
Basically, I don't want to sound sexist or anything, but since it's majorly happened with women, so basically OnlyFans is a platform where women can join and sell nudes and sell the nudes. It's basically they're just going to be selling the private pictures for a certain amount of money.
And it's completely legal, right?
Yeah, it's completely legal, dude. They are basically sponsoring brands as well. Have you heard of bare knuckle fighting? So it's like a fighting promotion.
Yeah,
right there.
I have heard of it.
Like,
I have heard of it.
It's quite famous, you know. It's quite famous.
I've heard of it.
The OnlyFans fucking sponsors it, bro. They sponsor that shit.
Okay. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's a big enough deal for
So I mean,
to
what's
be
the
a problem
difference?
for us.
Then really, what's the real difference between OnlyFans and porn? Like, मतलब ठीक है, porn is like a थोड़े बहुत differences होंगे, but idea तो same ही है ना, अपनी body को बेचना
Well,
पैसा कमाने के लिए.
मैं तेको बताता हूँ, bro. I'm like, see, selling your body started off with prostitution. It's moved on to porn. Now it's moved on to OnlyFans. Alright. So I think the prostitution was उसको एक physical form में कर होता था, right? Prostitution can only happen in a physical form, alright? Porn porn basically digitalizes the shit. It cannot digitalize the entire thing.
And also because पहले like पुराने ज़माने में brothels also used to exist ना, like
brothels still exist, bro.
But वो तो
the prostitution तो काफी time से exist कर रहा है, alright? Prostitution काफी time से exist कर रहा है. Porn probably grew to prominence in the last 70 years, and alright, porn को उन्होंने digitalize किया. Basically, porn is kind of like a digitalized form of prostitution. Because there are still people who own these porn stars and who are selling them, right? Just alright, and then OnlyFans is basically like more or less you can kind of call it privatization of the concept. You basically make money as an individual. You don't have to pay money off to your employer, or you don't have to pay money off to your manager. It's kind of like privatization of banking.
Okay.
You know, if you want to compare it to something. Back in the day, banking used to be, you know, something that used to be run by the government. Now it's something that is privatized.
Obviously.
Alright. So OnlyFans is basically the privatization of pornography.
Yeah, definitely get the whole picture now. And naturally OnlyFans OnlyFans is like a competition to porn, right? Necessarily, like it's like a thing
Yeah.
like it's competing directly with the porn industry, like, है ना?
I don't think I don't think it's that big of a thing as of now. I don't think it's grown to a big enough level to give competition to porn, because a lot of people would rather prefer watching naked girls or shit like that for free rather than pay for it.
Also, one thing I want to get down is one question I also wanted to ask, which been bugging around my mind. ठीक है कि OnlyFans and porn, are these very easy? Are these shortcuts? Are these easy ways to earn money? कि भाई you take the easy path down. Is it like that? I know it's a very deep question. I know it's a very deep question.
Because
it's a very like.
I'm pretty sure they have to work their ass off, bro. Even they have to work their ass off.
I mean, that's quite literally. I mean.
yeah. They actually have to work their ass off.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, isn't it something ki like? Okay, I think it's also something.
I think it is. It is an easier way of making money.
Yeah,
I'll be very honest with you. It is an easier way of making money.
So I mean, obviously, ऐसी चीजों में people who are, illiterate, people who don't exactly have that background.
No, it's not the illiterate people, dude. I'm talking about educated people. Like people who actually have money, like people who come from respectable backgrounds and stuff, and they just can't do they just can't perform well in academics, or they just can't do well in life, and so they join the porn industry or they join OnlyFans and stuff like that.
Also something interesting was I would also want to touch upon sex education. ठीक है. So जैसे for example अभी recently हाल ही में एक movie release हुई थी called OMG 2. ठीक है. बहुत सारे लोगों ने सुना होगा उसके बारे में. ठीक है. It's a movie that stars Akshay Kumar and Pankaj Tripathi. So that movie in a way was about sex education only. ठीक है. I'm not going to spoil it or anything. ठीक है. Because it's a very good movie and people should watch that, honestly. It's about the lack of sex education in India. ठीक है कि भाई why it should be introduced as a topic to teenagers and people coming of age, है ना? And why it's important for schools and colleges to tell people about all these stuff. ठीक है. So can sex education help reduce porn views, like people who like reduce the people who watch porn? What do you think?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I've never given it a lot of thought. And
definitely.
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, whatever.
It's a hard question. It's a hard question to answer.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I myself am not quite aware of what I myself am also not aware of like what does sex education even entail. Okay. Like as a subject. What does it even talk about? So जैसे कि अभी like I have searched on the net also. So basically sex education talks about sexually transmitted diseases and safe sex practices. ठीक है. Raises awareness about various sexual changes and processes in the body. ठीक है. So it's like a high quality course जो वो देते हैं लोगों को. ठीक है. And I mean obviously it comes along with its benefits and stuff. ठीक है. Obviously लोग सोचते होंगे जब वो implement करते होंगे ऐसी चीज़ को कि भाई it'll contribute to societal upliftment. ठीक है. It'll contribute to the fact कि basically जैसे जैसे अपनी society progress करती जा रही है वैसे it's in good hands basically. तो जैसे use of contraception during sex और ये सारी basic चीज़ें हो जाती ना, वो सब I think sex education में आता है. ठीक है. So I think that.
Well, let's not go into sex education because that's a whole another conversation another day.
Yeah, maybe. I just want to know like अगर ऐसी चीज़ porn viewership को थोड़ा कम कर सकती है या नहीं. Like if we go into that, तो फिर उसका क्या correlation होता है एक दूसरे से? मेरे को तो बस ये thought आया था पता नहीं क्यों. But obviously.
But do you really want the porn industry to shut down? Like, do you really want the porn industry to shut down? It provides employment for a lot of people, alright. It does provide a lot of employment for a lot of people.
Pros and cons तो obviously हैं इसके. ठीक है. अगर porn shut down, like let's be brutally honest, porn तो कभी बंद हो नहीं सकता. पहली बात तो ये कहते हैं. अगर कोई ऐसी
porn basically not to shut down.
अगर कोई
it's an industry gonna be present till the end of time.
But obviously this is like basic human tendency only. But as long as that human tendency of havas, ठीक है, never goes away, ठीक है, if that human tendency of havas never goes away, तो porn possibly कैसे बंद हो सकता है ना? And let's be honest, अगर ऐसा कोई hypothetical दुनिया exist भी करती है, ठीक है, I'll first of all call it the perfect world, ठीक है, क्योंकि एक ऐसा वर्ल्ड एग्जिस्ट करेगा जहाँ पे पॉन्ड बंद हो चुका है, इसका मतलब इट हैज टू बी परफेक्ट इन ईच एंड एवरी वे, है ना? ठीक है,
I won't call it a perfect world.
Why won't you? क्यों भाई?
I think porn is a source of satisfaction for a lot of people. Alright, and taking porn away from people is gonna just, it's almost gonna be like taking medicine from a guy who's like severely ill.
I mean, you can't really compare it to medicine, I think, in my opinion. Like, क्योंकि medicine तो
a lot of people who watch like porn for like 2 to 3 hours in a day. Alright, and porn is basically a way of life for them.
Bro, but it's also escapism ना, मतलब porn is like a way for them to escape, ठीक है, कि भाई like it's something you spend your time on. And
I completely get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from. They're basically trying to escape reality through porn. But I'm like, how is it affecting you and me? Like, how is it affecting people like you and me, right? I'm like, it's basically not. I mean, let them do whatever they want to do.
अरे वो तो है ही. It will obviously stay that way, ठीक है. I mean, definitely, like I said ना, they're like two sides of a coin, ठीक है. एक side कहती है कि भाई porn is bad, ठीक है, it's bad for mental health और ये सब नहीं देखना चाहिए, ठीक है. और एक साइड है कि this has to exist because there's the consumer's point of view and there's the producer's point of view, है ना. कंज्यूमर के लिए भाई ये चीज़ गंदी है, कंज्यूमर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू के हिसाब से कि भाई ये नहीं देखना चाहिए, प्रोडक्ट हेल्दी नहीं है एग्जैक्टली तुम्हारे माइंड में. प्रोड्यूसर्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ये सोचेंगे कि हमारे पैसे कमाने का तरीका है भाई, इसको पॉसिबली कैसे बंद कर सकते हो तुम. एंड ऑनेस्टली लेट्स जस्ट से दे न्यूक द पॉर्न इंडस्ट्री राइट नाउ, ठीक है. पॉर्न इंडस्ट्री को उड़ा दिया उन लोगों ने, दे डेमोलिश इट, दे अबॉलिश इट, उस पर बैन लगा दिया और ऐसे परमानेंट बैन लगा दिया कि नाउ यू कैन फाइंड एनी कंटेंट. द स्केल टू विच अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट विल राइज, ठीक है, I can't even begin to comprehend that first of all, ठीक है, उस वक्त, ठीक है.
I think in my opinion, OnlyFans is growing to prominence because porn industry wasn't receptive towards a lot of people. You had to be a certain shape and size for the porn industry to accept you. But OnlyFans is basically giving you a general point of view.
It's like वो एक sort of freedom तुम्हें देता है, sort of independence देता है ना, that platform.
You can get a lot of creative control with the OnlyFans. That you weren't getting with with porn.
And it's like, oh, so can I tell
you?
Okay,
let me ask you a question, alright? Okay. It's gonna be a controversial question, of course. Okay. So the question, here it goes. Let's just say 10 years down the line, you have a daughter, alright?
Okay.
And another 10 years down the line, when you're like around 40, your daughter's like, okay, Dad, I want to join OnlyFans. What is your reaction going to be?
I'll be very honest with you, okay? And it's my humble opinion, so you guys, whatever you think, I'm just going to kick her out of the house. Honestly. First of all, I
think people listening to the porn are going to respect that.
First of all, if my daughter ever comes up to me and says, ठीक है, कि Dad, I want to join OnlyFans, ठीक है, and she gives you whatever reason, ठीक है. I mean, she might say कि मेरे को अच्छा लगता है, it's my kind of thing, ठीक है, कि यहाँ पे मैं showcase कर सकती हूँ अपनी skills को better, या फिर Dad, मेरे पास और कोई other option नहीं है, ठीक है, this is the only way, ठीक है. I'll honestly think I am a failure of a father, ठीक है, कि मैं इतना गंदा बाप था कि मैं अपनी बेटी को इतना भी अपलिफ्ट नहीं कर पाया कि शी हैज़ टू गो टू OnlyFans, ठीक है. ऑनेस्टली मुझसे तो झेला नहीं जाएगा अगर मेरी बेटी OnlyFans पे जाके दूसरों को अपने न्यूड्स फ्लैश कर रही होगी, ठीक है. आई थिंक ऑफ माई सेल्फ एज एन एब्सोल्यूट फेलियर. आई थिंक ऑफ माई सेल्फ एज अ पर्सन हु फेल्ड टू एजुकेट माई डॉटर एंड टेक केयर ऑफ हर ब्रिंगिंग, ठीक है. एंड आई थिंक ऑब्वियसली सम पीपल माइट अग्री विथ मी, ठीक है, कि जो मैं कर रहा हूँ वो सही है, ठीक है. So
I
that,
think a lot of people are gonna agree with you. I think a lot of people are gonna agree with you. It's only gonna be like, the liberal people who are gonna be like, okay, let her do whatever she wants to do. But I think as a father, you basically have the right to tell her what to do till a certain age. All right, and I think you're gonna be. I'm like, of course, let's just say you're 40 right now, so you're basically more experienced than your daughter. You know how that shit works. You know how she's gonna the sort of treatment she's gonna get from the society after that,
no,
and you're
honestly,
basically trying to save her from all of that,
I'll just
right?
tell her कि भाई if this is the path you want to go down, ठीक है, then we can't be associated with each other, ठीक है, we can't
Yeah.
be connected to each other. You are going there as an independent person, ठीक है, and I'll honestly blatantly tell her कि भाई if you are to go down this line, there are these set of risks, ठीक है, there's these set of risks and these set of problems that you're going to encounter, and all these problems are going to be faced by yourself. You won't get any help from me. एक कौड़ी की हेल्प नहीं मिलेगी तुम्हें मुझसे. बाकी तुम्हें करना है करो, मैं तुम्हें रोक नहीं रहा हूँ, मैं तुम्हें पॉसिबली रोक भी कैसे सकता हूँ, ठीक है. आई एम नॉट अ गाय हु orders and commands stuff, ठीक है, करने को. I mean, it's my daughter after all, not a fucking slave or anything, ठीक है. You want to do whatever you want to do. It's just that there's something that comes along with it, ठीक है. So that's my answer. In a nutshell, no, I am
Basically, you
not
just
going.
wanted to realize how dire the consequences are gonna be if she chooses to go down that path of life.
It's not an easy path, ठीक है. Like no path is easy first of all, ठीक है. But this path, especially मेरे opinion में तो is very very wrong, ठीक है. Especially if I as a father am able to provide for my daughter in an efficient manner, and this is the path that she chooses to go down, then तो सोच भाई मेरे को अपने ऊपर क्या लगेगा, ठीक है. सोच, बस सोच, लाइक क्या गुजर रही होगी मेरे माइंड में. So in a nutshell,
Yeah.
I am 100% not going to be alright with that.
I kind of get where you're coming from.
And I think you also think the same, है ना?
Yeah, definitely. First off, it's gonna be a shocker for me, alright? And then I'm like, it's gonna break my heart. Alright. And I'm not really emotional in life or something, but it definitely is gonna break my heart.
Respect, in my opinion, like I respect that, honestly. I've got nothing but
It's
respect for that.
It's just gonna be like, okay, where did I fail as a father and where did I fail as a human being? Because I think it's gonna be a question mark on how competent of a human being I am. Or it's gonna kind of, raise a question on the upbringing my parents, it's gonna, gave me. How they brought me up.
Yeah, and this goes along to lines of similar work as well, okay? Like, even if she were to become like a stripper or something like that, it also applies to that also.
Yeah, it applies to anything where it comes down to flashing a body to
Yeah,
strangers.
exactly. So, I think we should end this episode right here. I mean, we've discussed a lot about this, and honestly, I think some of the people are also going to find it very enlightening, okay, and eye-catching. So, guys, we come to the end of this episode as well. Hope you liked it.
Guys, please like it, please subscribe, please follow, please share.
Yeah.
And just do comment. Just let us know what you think of it.
And please let us know like what
we'd be really grateful for your feedback.
Yeah, and please let us know what you want us to cover next. Okay, we have got a lot of topics in our mind, but we also would like to cover topics that you think we should. We respect your opinion.
It would matter a lot, man.
Yeah.
It would matter a lot.
So peace, respect. See you guys in the next one.
Thank you.